What is up everyone, Movie Way, I'm back again with another Movie Talk Weekly. This is just me talking about all the movie news from the past week or so. I do have a quick apology to make here. I did not do this video last week because there just wasn't too much to talk about. There was only one or two stories worth noting down, and I didn't want to make a video that wasn't very interesting. But we do almost have 2 weeks worth here of news to catch up on, so let's just get straight into it. Let's just start here. This trailer was actually released just yesterday, and that is for the Tom and Jerry movie. Yes, I don't know if many people knew this was actually coming out. I did speak about it on my movie news a couple of months ago, I believe, but we haven't really heard nothing since. However, a full-blown trailer was released, and this is in the kind of style of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, where it's all real-life actors and, you know, live action and stuff. However, Tom and Jerry are animated in the movie, you know. I didn't expect them to go this route, to be honest. I thought it would have been a full-blown animated film or CGI movie, but they've mixed it up a little bit, and this stars Chloe Grace Moretz. And the story kind of looks like Tom and Jerry are out of business. They don't make movies no more, and they're kind of on the road, and they decide to part ways, and Jerry seems to hold himself up in this hotel, and they want to get rid of this infestation that Jerry has caused. He's probably the only mouse in there. I don't really know, but I'm guessing so going by the trailer. And Chloe Grace Moretz does want to get rid of this mouse being Jerry, so she hires Tom to chase him all around this hotel, and it looks more of the same thing as the cartoon, just with real life actors in there apart from Tom and Jerry. So I didn't know what to think of this trailer. It could be absolutely terrible, or it could be really, really fun. You decide for yourself. I will leave the trailer down below, but I'll definitely watch this movie no matter what. I did used to like Tom and Jerry as a kid, but that is the Tom and Jerry new movie. Oh, it does always say as well at the end, only in cinemas, so they're planning on a cinema release sometime next year, I imagine. So look out for that one. More news as I bring it on the Tom and Jerry movie, but the trailer will be down below in the description. A little bit of news now on Thor, Love and Thunder. Now, you probably already knew this, but Chris Pratt has been confirmed to be in this movie, and he's going to star in a few scenes alongside Thor, which I just think is a match made in heaven. One of my favourite things about Endgame was that one of the final scenes with them two, just having this banter back and forth, and I thought I would love to see a movie with them in it, and it looks like it's finally happened. I thought it might have been Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, but it is going to be Thor, Love and Thunder. We also got word that Tessa Thompson and Natalie Portman are set to return as well. Don't know if that was already confirmed, but they are in this movie. And Christian Bale is set to star in this as an unspecified villain. Now, I know a lot of people out there do actually like Christian Bale, so that could be very, very interesting for this film. Who knows what villain he's going to play or whatever. I haven't really looked into it. I'm sure some of you out there might hazard a guess, or, you know, going by the comics and stuff. I'm not a massive comic book guy anyway, but some of you might be able to shed some light on that. And I'm looking forward to this film. Taika Waititi, again, is in the director's chair, just like he was for Thor Ragnarok. So this has got the makings of being one of the best Marvel movies, I feel, and I'm really looking forward to it. So mainly for the fact that Chris Pratt and Chris Hemsworth are going to get to work together on screen, and I just think it'll be a really funny film. So Thor, Love and Thunder, more as I get it, but Chris Pratt is definitely going to be in this film. Last time out on the movie talk, I give you the news that Uncharted had actually finished filming. Well, another movie has finished filming now and ready to go into the editing room, and that is Jurassic World Dominion. Sam Neill actually confirmed this on his Twitter account, and by saying, you know, lovely cast, great crew, top director. I hope I've got them the right way around. The image should be on the screen right now anyway of that tweet. Sorry if I did get it the wrong way, but yeah, you might have noticed that I said Sam Neill there, and he is set to be in this movie alongside Jeff Goldblum and Laura Dern. So the trio, the fabulous trio from Jurassic Park, are returning all together in this film. So yeah, could be a good movie. Fallen Kingdom wasn't great, but it did set itself up for this one, which takes place in a totally new environment. It looks like these dinosaurs are running around the city and stuff, if that ending is anything to go by, and some of the posters that we've seen. So yeah, I have high hopes of this movie. I think it could be maybe the best Jurassic Park movie since the first, but we'll have to wait and see. But just going by the concept of it, sounds pretty good. So yeah, Jurassic Park Dominion has finally finished filming. We're also set to get a new zombie movie, and this is called New York Will Eat You Alive, and I like the sound of that title. Back on my zombie kick now after watching Train to Busan and Zombieland Double Tap lately, so I was happy to hear this news, and it's basically about a water supply in New York City that gets contaminated by an ancient coffin. As bizarre as that sounds, feels like it's going to be one of them movies that, like Zombieland, mightn't take itself too seriously. I don't know, I'm just going by the concept of the story. And it's going to focus on a young boy who never really leaves the house. And he's always playing video games, but he has to go out the house in this pandemic, this zombie pandemic, to find his girlfriend. So, cool little setup there, I think. There is something else to know. Colin Firth is set to star in this movie. Obviously not as the young boy, but it's something a little bit different for Colin Firth. You don't usually see him in these types of films, not from my memory anyway. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but this could be interesting, so keep your eye out for that. Whenever we get some images or more news on this, I will bring it to you in these Movie Talk Weeklies. But that is New York Will Eat You Alive, a new zombie movie coming in the future. Perhaps my favourite bit of movie news this week was this one. I didn't really see it coming, however, I love the sound of this story. This is going to be called The Ambulance, and Michael Bay might be directing this film, with Jake Gyllenhaal set to star, and it's basically, the story is about Jake Gyllenhaal and his brother robbed this ambulance for whatever reason, and there's a female nurse in the back and a critically ill patient, but by the sounds of it they can't stop and they might be getting chased all over the city. And you know, it looks like it might have all the news coverage on this ambulance with people watching inside the movie and stuff. I'm just guessing, I don't know that, but it is said to be taking inspiration from some 90s action/thriller films, which makes me think this might be the sort of thing what's happening. And it is said to focus on character development. Now, I'm not entirely sold on Michael Bay if he directs this, because he is very hit and miss, but with the character development in this movie, it might be something a little bit different for him. Obviously, he's going to throw a lot of action scenes in there, but maybe he'll focus a bit more on story than he usually does. Look, I can take or leave Michael Bay movies. It's also set to be set during the pandemic, the COVID pandemic, example, present day. So that adds another little twist to the story, and it's going to introduce it heavily into the movie. But that is The Ambulance, starring Jake Gyllenhaal and probably directed by Michael Bay. If I get any more news on this, I will bring it to you here on these Movie Talk Weeklies, but look out more for The Ambulance when I get it. Now, some of you might remember a movie starring Keanu Reeves back in 2005 called Constantine. Well, it looks like we might be getting a sequel to that film. Now, I've got to admit, I have never ever seen the movie Constantine. However, I've heard people say it's really good, and my sister always told me to watch this, so I'm going to have to get it watched pretty soon, especially if this sequel might be coming. There is no confirmation on this, however. Peter Stormare, who played Lucifer in the first film, I believe, has actually put up a post on Instagram saying, sequel in the works, you know, with a picture of him as Lucifer, I think that's right. And not only that, he went on a couple of days later to say, I'm honoured about this sequel. So make of that what you will. I highly doubt Peter Stormare will do this for a laugh. So I'm just awaiting confirmation that Constantine 2 will happen, and it'll probably be starring Keanu Reeves again. So look out more for Constantine 2 as I get it. I will try and get that movie watched as soon as I can, so I'm up to date with this film and what it's going to bring in a sequel. So more on Constantine 2 as I get it. Now, David Fincher, one of my favourite directors ever, who's made some of my favourite films, has signed a new 4-year deal with Netflix. Now, he's already done a few things for the streaming service like Mindhunter, and his new movie Mank is set to come out next month. But he went on to say he wants to try a lot of different things, but then also went on to say that in my 40-year career, you know, being part of film crews and stuff, I've only made 10 films. Well, 11 technically, but 10 really. I think he's referring to Alien 3 there, where the studios cut up his version of the film. God knows what's really happened with that. But yeah, I sort of took this as a hint that he wants to make more movies. I hope so anyway, because nearly everything he touches turns to gold, really. You got Fight Club and Seven and stuff. I loved Gone Girl. I actually liked Alien 3, believe it or not. Whether it's his movie or not, I enjoyed it, David. But we'll just have to wait and see what else he's got in the works. I'm sure we'll hear more in the next year or two what David Fincher has got lined up. But first, we've got Mank coming, like I just said, in December, and that looks like a really, really solid movie. So I will definitely review that on the channel. But David Fincher signed a new 4-year deal with Netflix, and Netflix is really, really growing into something spectacular here. I know I'm a physical collector, as you can see behind me, but they do put out some great stuff as well, especially some of the originals, so I can't really complain too much about Netflix. But yeah, David Fincher signed a new 4-year deal with Netflix, the streaming service, so I'll hope for more stuff from him in the future. Next up, we got a movie that no one really asked for, and that is The Scorpion King. Dwayne Johnson is set to bring this franchise back as a reboot, and he's not set to star in the film. He's not going to be directing it, he's just going to be producing it. And he said he would not be where he was today if it wasn't for The Scorpion King, and he wants to give more actors an opportunity, you know, to reach stardom. It looks like it's going to be an unnamed few actors in this film, if that's anything to go by, that quote. Now, I'm not quite sure, Dwayne, I agree with you there, because he was a very popular wrestler called The Rock, and I think another movie would give you a chance. But fair enough, he's remembered his film career origins there, and that's a good thing, so yeah. And this is going to be written by Jonathan Herman, who wrote the movie Straight Outta Compton, or done the screenplay, if you like, and that's a pretty solid film, so this could be a surprise, who knows. You know, I know there's already been 3 Scorpion King movies, I believe, and the character first appeared in The Mummy Returns. I think his name's Matthias. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but it's going to see him rise up against some other people who destroyed his homeland. So, I don't know if that's the premise of the first film or anything. I have to see it. I just haven't seen it yet, so I do apologise for that. It just looked like something back in my childhood that I wasn't really interested in, but with this movie news coming out, I might try and check it out. But a Scorpion King reboot is in the works, and it's going to be produced by Dwayne Johnson. Okay guys, hope you all enjoyed this Movie Talk Weekly, or should I say 2 weekly. I do apologise for not putting the movie news up last week, but hopefully we're back on track now and we can do this every week, and there's going to be more stories to talk about next Wednesday or Thursday. So if you want to comment about any of the movie news, please leave it down below. I will reply to every single one of you, I promise. Take it all easy, guys. I'll see you all in the next video.